bringing in the head coach of the West Branch girls soccer program, Cheryl Ficco. Coach, thank you so much for jumping in today.
Thanks, Anthony. Thanks, Todd. Well, pleasure to be here.
Coach, I mean, we always we kind of like to start off with a sort of meet the team segment too, and I know West Branch girls soccer program is no stranger to success. So I'd like to know who's going to be leading the helm and some faces we need to get to know here for this 2022-23 edition of the Warriors.
Yeah, for sure. The 2022 team, we are an experienced group, so we have 8 seniors and 11 juniors returning. Actually, I should say 7 seniors returning. We picked up a new senior this year, but it's an experienced group. We bring back probably 9 or 10 of the starting faces from last year. So it's a very similar group to what we saw on the field last year. We bring back some key defenders in Sophia Gregory and Samantha Conoval holding down the center of our back line. We return about 2 of our 3 center mids. So you'll see, again, familiar faces, Bree Thomas. You'll see Sophia Gregory in our midfield. And we also bring back our starting front 3. So you'll see Daphne Snyder is our striker. We've got Chloe Dennison out on a wing. Kennedy Berger is going to come in some for us this year in a wing. And we also have Sarah Bungard, who's going to probably play either of the outside wing or outside defender positions for us. And all of those girls saw quality minutes last year. So those would be some of our returners. Then we also have McKenna Linz is one of our senior captains in the midfield. Haley Ridgway is going to see a lot of time in defense for us this year. And we have 2 goalkeepers from last year, both returning. So a lot of familiar faces for West Branch.
Coach, before we get into even more specifics about this year, I mean, it's your 8th season, and every one of those seasons, you guys have won the EBC, going for your 9th consecutive conference championship.
Right.
Gotta ask, what's it been like to be a part of such a successful run and to kind of have it be your whole coaching career here at West Branch as well?
Yeah, no, Coach Wallace was here before myself, so she has a couple of those wins, and this will be my 6th year at the helm. So I think I have had 5, and Coach Wallace had 3 seasons with the girls, but it's been a tremendous run. For us, I mean, West Branch for me is a special place. It's where I graduated from high school quite a while ago. So it's a place that I truly believe in and support with everything that I have. And as you guys, I'm sure, are well aware, it's no easy task to keep that success going. And that's really what we've been working on together as a team and a coaching staff, is to how can we best support these girls so that they believe in themselves and they can achieve their full potential.
What was the biggest challenge stepping into that role, knowing that there was already some conference champions there? And what are the challenges now keeping that rolling throughout the year?
My first year was definitely a little bit intimidating. We had a tough out of conference schedule my first year there, and we suffered some losses right out of the gates. And I think there were some questions. Again, it was about getting that buy-in from the girls and saying, hey, we will get there. And we had tough games, against Salem that year. Marlington was good for my first year too. And we also had Louisville in our conference still. So I vividly remember those games. I think we had Salem, Marlington, and Alliance as like our last 3 conference games. And those were all basically have to win games. And that was just an amazing feeling to see the girls grow into that season. And to be able to keep it going. And then since then, we've really tried not to look back too much. Each team is a new team, and I think they each have to find their own identity and their own way forward. And each year, of course, you've got to get those girls to take that next step up to backfill those that you've lost. But I think, and we spend a lot of time as a coaching staff thinking about this year. How can we keep this going? What do the girls? What can we do to help the girls get to where they need to be? And what I liked about this year's group is that for their banner that we'll have on the field, they chose the slogan "Humble and Hungry," and I think those two those two words are basically, I think, what we need to keep in the forefront of our mind to keep our program moving forward. We have to be humble and not rely on past successes to carry us into this year. And we also need to have that hunger in us that says, hey, we're gonna work hard for this. We're gonna put in that effort. And we are still hungry. It's never a guarantee, and we know it's never a guarantee.
That humble and hungry mindset might go into the answer to this question, but how do you try to balance as a coach, getting them to respect the tradition of the program and the work ethic that it took to get that, but also realize, like you said, every year is a little bit different and you do have a new identity and you can't define yourself by 8 consecutive EBC championships. Like,
yeah, no, it's not easy. And I think, if any of the years, I think this year we've really been, as a coaching staff, we've really been talking about it. So it's about getting the girls, I think a big word is to believe in themselves. So we try to instill that confidence in the girls, that they can do it. But at the same time, behind the belief and self-confidence, there has to be that work ethic. And we like to try to balance our program where we ask you to work hard, but on the other hand, we also want you to have a lot of fun. So that's kind of the two components that we look at balancing is, how can we push them? Can we get them to work hard? Can we get them to be all in? But at the same time, we want them to be enjoying each other and having fun, so that they look forward to coming out. But no, to your point, it's definitely not easy. I think it's easier to chase a championship and be an underdog than it is to be defending one. So it's easier to build up that underdog mindset than to be in the position where you have had past success, but at the same time, that does not guarantee any future success.
I mean, this is a program too unique to you because you've had success in it as a player and as a coach now. I'm just curious too, in your experiences with it, in what ways have you noticed the game evolved, or has it evolved then in the years since you were playing to now? What have you noticed?
Yeah, I was playing back in the 1990s, so it was quite a while ago, and I would say that I've noticed, the game as a whole has evolved. There were fewer opportunities for female soccer. Then I spent 2 years on the boys team before West Branch got their girls team my junior year. So now you have this, great expansion of female soccer, which is amazing to see. And you have a lot more travel opportunities, a lot more club opportunities. So really, to be a competitive team in today's environment, you have to have, from top to bottom, you have to have a very, very competitive, competent team, whereas maybe before you could get by with having a couple good players. Now you really kind of need to have the full slate to have a team that's all comfortable on the ball, all on the same page, and is all ready to go out and work. Well, so I think it's just a general evolution of the game of soccer for sure.
I want to talk about some of your players a little bit more in depth. And I think one of the ones that is going to get talked about a lot this year, not just because what she can do for you, but because of how exciting she is in the whole West Branch athletics year, is Sophia Gregory coming into a junior year.
Right.
You're going to be asking a little bit more of her now as an upperclassman, a little bit more responsibilities put on her shoulders. What do you expect from her this year on the soccer field?
Sophia, she's one of our midfielders, and really, as you know, she's well known in basketball. She's a great track athlete as well. So she's just an all around athletic girl. For us, particularly, she with her size and her speed, she is able to cover a lot of territory in the midfield for us. So for her, it's winning that ball. It's slowing down the other team and getting it back up into our attack. She does a great job winning balls out of the air, bringing them down under control and getting them back to us. And we look at her to, again, keep growing in her confidence. So her confidence to take people on, her confidence to take shots and to get up into the attack more. Those are things, as she gets to be into her third year as a starter, we just look to see her progression. So I would say just more, more leadership and more confidence, really stepping up into those roles for sure.
Another junior that's going to be really important is Chloe Dennison. I mean, your offense really ran through her last year. I think 18 goals in the season a year ago. Obviously, she's stepping into her junior season too. She's going to be asked for more responsibilities. What are expectations from her this year?
To have Chloe, she had a great sophomore campaign. She did have 18 goals, I think 11 assists. So for her, the challenge is to see if she can step up into more of a vocal leader role, and to bring others into the attack with her. So she's one of our front three. So her role really up there is to see how can she get everyone involved, and how can we find the best opportunities as a team to put the ball in the net as much as we can.
You look at the success of this program, and it's been admirable, because I mean the work you put in with the girls, going the extra mile with them, but then you also have to go home and be a mom to two boys too.
Yeah.
Are you currently pushing them to soccer, and do you find yourself using some coaching techniques at home on them?
So we my husband and I actually talk about it some, and we do have them both in soccer, but I will tell you that right now they like to fish and they like to ride dirt bikes. So we want them to participate in sports as much as they enjoy it, and that's what I see even as a coach. You want the kids to be out there for the right reasons. You want them to be out there because they are enjoying being out there, that they love the game. So for us, we've always said that we weren't going to really push our kids into any direction, but to more or less follow their lead in what they are interested in and what they are passionate about.
So what you're saying is you need to push the West Branch athletic department into getting varsity fishing added to.
Yes, yeah, fishing would be great. Fishing and dirt bike riding, motocross.
One of the things that is also about this team is the district you're in. It's a hard Division II district. I think it's proven itself the last 2 years. What do you think you guys can do to get a little bit more prepared and a little bit more ready for the district when it comes around and all these tough teams that you're going to find yourself having to compete through to get a district championship?
Yeah, I know with the super district. And I think, again, it comes down to our mental preparation and our again, self-confidence and our belief in ourselves to be able to play. We've got some real strong players right in our central area with, like I said, Alexis Gregory. She's a great leader for us. She's one of our center backs, and Sam Conable, again, center back, also very strong. Those girls are phenomenal soccer players, and Bree Thomas sitting back there in the midfield for us. She has, again, really impressed me with her work ethic and leadership. I feel like having those three in the middle, they are tough soccer players, and we would lean on them, when we come up into these games, to have that confidence, to have that leadership and that vocal support of everyone, to keep everyone organized, to get through and succeed in those tough spots. This summer we did a lot of things. We went to a Kent State team camp, and we saw some great teams there. We played in the Kenston Showcase, and we had a couple of nice half games at Kenston as well that I think really showed us that we should be able to play with anyone in our super district, and getting the girls to believe that, so that when they step on the field, they have that confidence.
Looking at this season too, it looks to be another challenge, but it should be fun too to see you guys compete in this as well. I want to know, how deep is this love for the West Branch program, being playing here, and then also after relocating to still making the drive to West Branch?
No, for sure. Like I really love working with the girls at West Branch, and they hold a special spot in my heart. Like you said, that I come back and forth from here up northwest of Fairlawn, down to West Branch, and work with them. And it's nothing except for the love of the game of soccer and the enjoyment that I get with working with these ladies. West Branch for me, that's where I learned soccer. That's where my mom and dad are still at. So again, it holds a special spot in my heart. We have a great supportive fan base. Our parents are wonderful. They take care of the girls. They feed them. They show up to home games, away games. We have just a tremendous support for our girls program here at West Branch, and it's a real fun place to be with regards to girls soccer.
Coach, before we let you go, I want to give you the chance to shine a light on your assistants and some of the other people that really go into making this West Branch program what it is, because we know the head coaches don't do it by themselves.
No, for sure not. So Zach Dean, he is in his 6th year here. This will be his 3rd year with the girls program. He was 3 years with the boys program before, and he has been extremely instrumental in helping with with everything A to Z. He's really stepped up a lot this year, and he's helping me with a lot of the administrative tasks and getting more and more hands-on with leading the girls in their sessions. So Zach's a great asset to the West Branch community and the West Branch soccer teams for sure. Super committed. And then we also added Coach Daly. So Coach Molly Daly joined us this year. She, in her own right, is a great soccer player. She grew up in Hudson and was part of a state championship team there. She played goalkeeper at the University of Toledo, and she is now living in the West Branch district. So she is an assistant with us at the high school program, but she's leading our middle school girls. So she's really stepped in and helped us where we needed help to, for that continuity of the program. I think she has close to 30 middle school girls that she's working with right now. And she's there for us on a daily basis at the high school program too. And then I guess Mr. Helm, our AD, he's always a great supporter of us. And then I would also say, like, our trainer, Tyler Kennedy, we couldn't do it without TK. So between all of us, we're really just there to support the girls and help them achieve their best.
Coach, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today and giving us a solid preview of West Branch girls soccer. We know that we will enjoy continuing our coverage of you throughout the season. We wish you the best of luck, and hopefully a little bit into the season, we can get you on to talk about some more of your success too.
Oh, well, that sounds great. Thank you so much for having me.